this is something that we might have a small little edge. I was talking about this the other day on the Roundtable show about how I think we might see a little bit Patrick Mahomes this week. And they actually asked him about this today, which I thought was interesting. Nate Taylor actually asked him about this. But looking at where the Chiefs might find an edge. So right now, the Texans have quietly been giving up a good amount of rushing yards to quarterbacks this season. With Trevor Lawrence, 35 yards, Bo Nix, 36 yards. Mac Jones had, I think, a season high in rushing yards against him with 23 yards. I mean, that's Mac Jones. Baker Mayfield, my guy, Dasher Mayfield, 33 yards. And this is, I mean, they're the top half of giving up yards to quarterbacks. And that's probably in part to having that four-man rush and just letting those guys up front kind of go at him. And you saw that Bo Nix on that last drive against them, and he was able to kind of go up the middle on them. Once they pursued upfield, he was taken off against them. And when you look at Mahomes against them last year, and I need to remind some people, Mahomes hurts his ankle against the Browns. They were playing them on a short week. A couple days later, a lot of people didn't think Mahomes was going to play. He ends up playing. He ends up rushing for 33 yards and a touchdown that game, and it was a badass rushing touchdown too. And so Nate Taylor, like I said, talked to Mahomes about that today and asked him about him using his legs in a big game, and we've seen Mahomes do this all the time in big games. So this is Mahomes on using his legs this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to utilize everything, not just my legs. I mean, you got to utilize everything you have to go out there and win. I mean, this is a really good football team that's playing really good football right now and has a really good defense. And so we're going to have to throw it all out there and try to find a way to win. And this will be a big game for us to showcase who we are and who we think we can be moving on the rest of the season.
So, JD, do you think the Mahomes scrambling ability is going to be something the Chiefs can exploit this weekend, given how they have struggled to contain not even mobile quarterbacks, just quarterbacks in general this year?
I'm going to say, yeah. Why not? Like you said, you got to utilize whatever you got. Like I said before, man, whatever tool you have at your disposal, use it. And I know Pat, he'll be one of those guys that's going to try to utilize everything, his arms, his legs, will this team to win. And so, but he has help around him. That's one thing he has to remember. I know somebody, I forgot who put it out there on Twitter. They was talking about Patrick's EPA and where it was as it stands with other quarterbacks. And I look at some of the fallacy is because when we get in certain situations, then it's like, okay, maybe there's a bad decision that Pat make because he's trying to hold the ball too more. He's trying to make a play. And I'm like, shoot, there's a lot of context to come into that. And so I'm wanting Pat to be able to run the football effectively. I'm sure they'll have a spy because they understand that Pat is a runner. And so what we're talking about, Marcus, they also know too. Hey, we've given up, such and such running yards to quarterbacks in the past. Patrick Mahomes is one of the most underrated running quarterbacks out there. So we want to try to change that. We want to attack those things. But what Pat does is when he takes off running, guys tend to get open. He does, all that Pat magic and fall on the side and throw it behind his back and over his head and do. I mean, that's what he did. That's his forte. That's his superpower. So I'm sure they'll have somebody spying him up, which makes absolute sense. I would, as a defense. I'm just not gonna let Pat run free because he'll hurt you. He'll hurt you for real. But yeah, why not utilize that?
Does it surprise you that a team that has such a good secondary like the Houston Texans do, as they run man about 65% of the time? Is that not man? They run zone 65% of the time.
Zone, yeah.
Is that shocking to you? And I mean, how do you think we can exploit that outside of Pat? He's using everything in their arsenal outside of his legs. How do you think we can exploit a team that runs zone as much as they do?
Guys got to find windows. That's where when you're running around scrambling, guys get open. They find the holes in the windows. Just sit, okay? See where everybody is around you. Feel where, whatever zone coverage they're giving you at any moment. And I think that's what you have to do is let everybody else around you know, okay, look, if they give us this, whatever coverage it is, 3, 4, 2, if they split coverage, with a, cover 7 or a 6 or a 5, then you just everybody's got to be on point, right? They decide to bring somebody off the slot like a blitz. Hey, that guy's got to turn your head around. We got to understand that with our protection and everything that we have. This week, because we are down, Marcus, we got to be as tight as we possibly can. We have to be. And so everybody's got to be on the same page. It means Pat, the tight ends, wide receivers included. But I do believe this week, not just utilizing Pat's legs is where we can win out, but also, too, I think we can win with the outside guys, outside routes, comebacks, curls, slants, and then Travis Kelce and Rashee Rice absolutely just ruling over that middle. I think they give up a lot in the middle. And so we got to be able to exploit those things, too. So, so that it's gonna require us to get the ball out of our hands fast enough, right? That we're Patterson there saying, okay, guys, get open. I'm gonna throw the ball to you. Be ready, because it's coming right now. So,
Yeah, you got that spy coming at you. You make him come up, then you boom, find somebody right behind him.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be an interesting game. I think one thing, because if you look at their numbers, because they're like number one, like a lot of categories, this defense. And the one thing that I do think that we can find something here, and look, we go back to our must-win game against the Colts. What do? We ran the ball 30 times with Kareem Hunt. In the last 2 games, if you look at the Texans, I think they gave about 90-ish yards to Jonathan Taylor last week, and then the week prior, James Cook had a pretty decent game against them, and that's kind of unlike what was going on with them in the beginning of the season. They were kind of no running back was doing anything against them. But the last 2 games, starting to see something, little cracks there with the run game. And I think if you commit to the run like we did a couple weeks ago, and with you have these guys down on the offensive line, I think you have to have a big Kareem Hunt game. Whether it's a big game for him, but you have to commit to the run and give some kind of balance there.
I do. I think, and that is something that is key. I watched the Seattle game, and Seattle started running the football. Baker, he had a couple of touchdowns, but you just can't be afraid to run it. You can't be, especially against very daunting like pass rush. Run straight at them. I always feel like that's part of the formula, right? Sometimes you gotta force the issue. That's what we're going to do. And when I was looking at it, I was looking at the grades, Marcus. I was trying to bring up the tackles grades. Wanye Morris graded out at run blocking grade.
What was
What
that?
do you think? 84.7.
No way. But
Yeah.
how many? I mean, that the only caveat to that would be how many run snaps was that? Like
I
a
know.
couple?
Yeah, just a couple.
But still good though.
It's still good. So why not do more of it, right? Why not do more of it? If a guy is not as nimble on his feet and as fast, then run the football with him. Okay, Wanye's got a wide body, and he can run block. He can do that. He can do that. I do trust him doing that. Jalen Moore, he can run block. Caliendo can run block. Effectively what he needs to do. So, so I'm just gonna give maybe we'll hang our hat on that one, Marcus. Shoot.
Hey, I like that.
84.7. Why not? Hey man, something to celebrate, baby.
I will say it is funny because the kind of narratives that the angles people try to spin, and it's the narrative, oh, Wanye's not good. Look at his pass blocking grade. It's like you only stick to the one side. I get we are a passing team. However, like we kind of have to adapt our style to what we have on that line. And if he is a good run blocker, 84.7, like let's commit to the run a little bit, and like let's make the defense have to play a guessing game as to what we're gonna do. What were Jalen Moore and Caliendo's run blocking grades?
Jalen Moore for a season right now, he's grading out at 67.8. In his run blocking, pass grade is 56.7. That's where he is. So overall grade 65.7. We could deal with that. I'm good with that. Let's go look at Caliendo real quick. Let me see what we got here.
Uh-oh.
He's uh-oh. So we're looking at Mike's grade for the 2025 season. Pass blocking grade is 31.6. Run blocking grade 74.5.
Wow.
Man, hey, let's do what these dudes do best. Okay? How about we do that? How about we give these guys what they want? Okay? Okay, something that they're very good at. And so what you do is let those guys beat them up. Okay? Let's do some of that. Lay on them a little bit. And we'll see what happens. but I don't think you could be afraid with running the daggone football with these guys. Just got to do it. Can we get to the second level? I think we can. So,
and all three of them, like they graded better in run blocking, and like we're talking about this, then hopefully Andy, Heck, and Andy Reid are talking about that. And hey, like maybe we need to go back to that balanced kind of rushing attack we had against Indianapolis in this game, as long as we have these guys. And again, like we don't know right now. It seems like those guys, Trey Smith and Juwan Taylor, are not going to play. It seems like we are going to be with these guys. So, I mean, they're still holding out a little bit of hope with these guys. They didn't practice today, and it doesn't look like they are going to play. But nonetheless, with what we got with those three, run the ball. Run the ball.
Yeah. King Suma's, his grade is overall grade, offensive grade. Pass blocking is 70.2. Run blocking grade 61.7.
Oh,
so,
okay. I mean, King Suma's been great. I mean, this year, I know the PFF grades may not be overwhelmingly amazing, but like, in the preseason, a lot of people were talking about the 5 reps he would get in the first quarter of a game and overreact about how bad it was. It's like, well, no one's really talking about King Suma, and he's been available too, durability as well. So like durability, and yes, there's been some plays. Everybody's got plays that don't look the best, but he's been solid this year.
You know what's positive though with that also too. The guy that's there in the middle, Creed Humphrey, grading out overall 90.7, pass block grade 83.1, run block grade 90.7. So they're gonna get some help. They're gonna have some help. Okay. Big 52 is gonna be right there with them. Okay. He's gonna be right there with them.
Yeah, that was something that Mahomes also mentioned today during his presser, how big of a deal Creed Humphrey's been to have that leadership on that offensive line, especially with the young guys having to step in here and the inexperienced guys having to step in.
Did it? Yep. Hey man, that's what I would do. Creed, you got some guys that's a little inexperienced, but they played before. Rally the guys up. Okay, that's what you do. So.
Yeah. All right. We got a super chat here from Baca. Baca, appreciate that, buddy.
Appreciate you, Baca.
Story doesn't end on Sunday night. Chiefs 23, Texans 13. Patrick with 2 rushing touchdowns. Defense gets 2 turnovers. Ooh, okay. I like. Hey, and I'll say this. I think a sleepy X factor to this whole thing. The 12th man is Arrowhead Stadium. At Arrowhead Stadium in 28-degree weather, and a team that's coming from the dome.
It's tough, baby. That is tough. That is tough. Them jokers down there in Houston, they do not like that type of weather at all.
No.
So,
And I think I saw Damian Pierce, who also played for Houston for a while. I think this past weekend, it was like 28 degrees. He posted a picture of his like weather app, and he posted on his Instagram story saying, "Oh my God, like this is nuts."
Yeah. He's been to the two warm places, and he's just like, "Dad, guy, I'm out here in Kansas City now."
And I'm just hoping the rest of the Texans roster is feeling the same way he is about that.
Oh, they are. Hey, man, look, if you don't play in the cold weather, you're not used to it. First thing you do is you layer up, and it feels like you got 100-pound weighted pads on. So that's going to be another factor too. So you come out there with no sleeves on, that's psychologically playing with somebody.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we ain't cold out here. What you doing? Look at you with your soft tail coming out here with all your sleeves on, and, you got your little hoodie on the back of it, your hand warmer. That's what you do.
Today at practice, during their walkthrough, snow on the ground, but there was one guy who had shorts on. Everybody else had joggers on. Can you guess that one guy who had shorts on, JD?
Travis Kelce.
Yes, sir.
I already know that.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.